Hey guys, it's postboxpat, welcome back to a new video, and today we're going to be talking about backpacks coming into Fortnite Battle Royale. So, backpacks are something which will allow you to carry extra stuff in your inventory. Now, this is something that hasn't been 100% confirmed, but it's something that has been suggested by many subscribers and also got asked in last week's Q&A. Now, my friend A Dude, as you can see on screen right now, asked about backpacks, and he also asked about end of game winning kill cams, or whatever you want to call them, winning kill cams at the end of the game, which is pretty cool, or I think definitely it's something which could potentially come, but we don't really want to focus on the kill cams right now. We want to focus on backpacks. So what exactly and where exactly would backpacks be in Fortnite Battle Royale? So backpacks are something that I can imagine being in the game as a solo game mode type thing, maybe put into a test game mode first and then put into solo. And the reason I'm saying this is because when it comes down to playing Fortnite, if you haven't already realized, near enough every single time when you play solo, you always run out of space for your items. I've noticed this every single time. I always have to decide, do I want a rocket? Do I want a shotgun? Sometimes I have to decide, do I want a grenade launcher? Do I want a sniper? And sometimes I have to decide, how many healing items are there in the game? There are 5 healing items currently in the game, and then the 6th one will be the campfire, which is coming tomorrow. So we've got a bunch of different stuff. We've got medkits, we've got bandages, slurp, mini potion, and big potion, and that all them 5 would technically take up every single slot in your inventory. Now, when it comes down to squads, obviously you can share them amongst the entire squad, but playing solo or duo, you kind of have a limitation, and this is where a backpack could come in handy for your healing items. Now, a backpack itself, personally, I think would only carry healing items and items that can regain shield or health, healing, whatever you want to call them. I think definitely a backpack that could only carry them would be really awesome. It would have 2 to 3 slots on, and it could only carry them, which gives you the access to carry more guns, a variety of different weapons for different situations, and kind of changes the meta up completely. Now, I think this is something that would definitely have to be tested, and I also think the backpack, you shouldn't start with it. You'd have to find it on the map, but it is quite a high drop. Say it's like there's a bunch of new spots where backpacks are guaranteed to be every single time, so there's a guaranteed spot for a backpack in every village or every location. So there's a bunch of backpack spots on the map, and say there are 25 backpacks on the map, that would change the meta up completely. When you die, you do drop your backpack, and you can pick up the person's backpack, and it'll all already have the items in. Now, I've talked about the idea of the backpacks having only healing items, but when it comes down to it, I definitely think the backpacks could also carry a bunch of traps, a bunch of ammo. Obviously, you already carry that on you, but maybe you could put grenades in there, or maybe even bushes and things like that. Items like bushes, boogie bombs, they're just not seeing much play, and they're kind of reducing the drop of items that you really do want. When you get a chest and you get a boogie bomb or you get a bush, for me, I kind of get the reaction of going, oh, I didn't really want that. I'd sooner have maybe a blue AR or a SCAR or a rocket or something. I get that really kind of negative reaction when I open a chest and a boogie bomb or a bush comes out, because they're just not in the meta. And fair enough if you want to have a little bit of fun on squads and stuff, but playing solo and having a boogie bomb and a bush like I currently have in this gameplay, it's really just quite negative. It's not pushing enough for me to be able to be like, yeah, that's going to be a really cool item to have. Let's have that in the game. But it just really doesn't get that sort of feeling. I think definitely having a backpack, or maybe, I don't know if you should spawn with the backpack or find it. That's something that Epic Games would have to trial out a little bit. Maybe on a trial game mode like Sneaky Silences, call it backpack trial or something. I don't know. Something like that would definitely make the game a lot more interesting. Now, I think backpacks aren't required just yet in the game, but the more items that are getting added in, it definitely requires a backpack very, very soon, because we are starting to get full on our inventory big time. The more items they add, the less space we've got to carry them, and the more, the smaller the drop rate becomes for the better items. If you've noticed, now I have mentioned this in probably at least the recent 4 or 5 of my videos, if you've noticed, when you get into the end of the games, there's less people with rockets and less people with grenade launchers. That's because supply drops or chests or whatever you want to call it, the loot drops in general, are actually got a less percentage of dropping rocket launchers and grenade launchers now, due to the silenced pistol being added and a bunch of the boogie bomb being added, stuff like that. We're getting a less drop rate for that. Now, obviously, our shield potions are still up there at the top because we now have the mini shields as well, so the shield potion rate is quite a good rate, to be honest. But other items and stuff, they're really starting to take up the spawns, and I think sometimes Epic Games just need to say, look, should we take out the standard pistol? Should we take out this? Should we maybe just take out a few items? Maybe not just yet, but there's got to be a stage where sometimes you've got to think, look, no one's using the standard pistol, maybe we just take it out. No one's using the advanced SMG, maybe we take that out. Maybe there has to come a stage where Epic Games goes, let's take these items out. Now, I don't want to offend anyone who loves the pistol and loves the advanced SMG, but from what I've gathered, I've never been killed by them in a very, very long time, unless it's very early in the game. I don't see anyone at endgame running around with a pistol or running around with an SMG. Yes, the blue pistol used to be good at clearing structures and stuff, but now with the new meta and everyone improving their build style, most people are going to use either the suppressed pistol or just use the simple AR or a rocket or something like that to destroy structures. I think with people improving their building skills, especially within the console side of stuff, because that's the side I play, I think having a pistol now to destroy structures is quite a useful, it did used to be useful, but it didn't used to be, it's not as useful anymore. Definitely, I think the suppressed pistol is quite useful, because you can't sit here exactly where you're being suppressed from to destroy structures, but the main big pistol, it's just a little bit pointless. In squads, I suppose you can take it, a blue one, if you had the opportunity, but it's really not necessary, and it's an item that I think was a bit underrated, and same with the revolver as well, another item which just doesn't see much play at all. There are a bunch of items in the game which will not see much play. Yes, people do revolver challenges and stuff like that, and it is quite fun doing stuff like that, but I personally think it's kind of not really worth putting in the game if no one's really going to use it, or maybe a 1% of the population are going to try the gun out, because as soon as they get another gun they drop it straight away. I just see it clogging up spawns and things like that, and it's a little bit off topic from the backpack, but it does relate why a backpack should be in the game. A backpack wouldn't be necessary if we didn't have this many weapons, but with Epic Games adding a weapon in near enough, or an item in near enough every single week, imagine 53 weeks from now, a year from now, or however many weeks you want to imagine. So imagine a year, 53 weeks, 52 weeks, 55, 60 weeks, whatever weeks you want to imagine, even just 25 weeks. Imagine 25 weapons being added into the game. You'd be you'd be crushed with items and stuff. So you wouldn't know what to do, and that's what I mean. I think Epic Games have got to be very careful, and I know maybe a year from now or 50-ish, I don't know, however many weeks you want to say, you're going to get absolute tons and tons of items being added in, and that's where a backpack could be necessary. Maybe a classic game mode where all the old items get taken out. There's a bunch of different stuff that could be added into the game, but it just needs to be made the right move. The Zapatron used to be in the game, an amazing, like a pro sniper. So I think this is where backpacks really need to come in and take that position of these clogged up items, so people, one, can try them out, two, you could use them, because at the end of the day, you could even add an extra 2 inventory slots on your inventory if you had to. Drag it a little bit more to the left, maybe slot them in just above where the building items are, move the building slightly to the left. You could add these extra inventory items in pretty easily. There's enough room for it, or make the squares a little bit smaller, or you can have like a scaling setting that you can select for how big you want the squares to be. I think it could be possibly pretty easy to do, and it's something that Epic Games could consider to be able to get that extra kind of like touch with the new items. I just think not enough people are trying them out. I'd love to be able to carry a bush around with me every single time. I'd love to be able to carry boogie bombs with me, but sometimes on solo you've just got to say to yourself, you just don't need it. You don't need a bush, you don't need a boogie bomb, especially with it only being 5 seconds. Obviously I've got a boogie bomb in this clip right now because there hasn't really been any other items really to replace it, but if you've got items to replace it, you just don't really want to be carrying it around. So I think definitely a backpack is required in the game. It's something that I really want Epic Games to think about or consider. It's something that is very necessary and something that is going to help everybody and guarantee. So like I said before, the idea of actually starting with the backpack or finding it, I think both of them ideas would change the style of gameplay. If you had to find a backpack and they were always spawning in the same spot, and maybe they always come in a supply drop and stuff like that, that would change the meta completely. The game would change the style of play and everything. Everyone would be going for backpacks. Everybody would consider getting a backpack over other locations, and it would change the style completely. However, having everybody already have a guaranteed backpack or something, or maybe bringing out something where everyone can unlock a backpack, and or something like that, or you could even have upgrades for backpacks with not real money, but maybe you could upgrade your backpack by picking up something on the map or something to carry maybe 4 instead of 2 items. I don't know, it's really up to Epic Games how they want to do this. It's the sort of thing that can be put in so many different ways. It'll change the style of gameplay and how you could do it. The easiest way to simply put it in is just have 25 random backpacks that spawn on the map in different spots every single time. Another easy way would just be everyone already spawns in with a backpack, so you just gain 7 slots in your inventory, but only 5 are active at current moment. So they're the 2 main methods, but there's also a bunch of different methods you can put into that and make it in more depth. I don't want to make the game too confusing. I am not a developer and I don't have the decision to make this, but I think the game, me and my friends always talk about it, the game is a very simple concept, it's got a very simple element to it, and I think that's what people like about it. When the game starts to get a little bit too complicated, a lot of people will get put off by it. I definitely think we could see the game kind of fall in, and I don't know, it's just one of them. So I think it's been an interesting topic. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe down below. Exactly, maybe just comment what you think of backpacks and talk about, in your sense, what would you do if you were a developer? Would you add backpacks in, or would you just completely ignore it? I think it's something that has to be considered. It's basically an extended inventory or backpack, or whatever you want to call it. It's really up to you guys what you want to call it. I think it's definitely going to be something that's going to be interesting in the game. If we get it, maybe it needs to be trialed out a little bit first. I think it definitely needs to be trialed out. They can't just put it straight in. A lot of these items are getting added straight in without being even trialed, and I think it is changing the meta a lot. The meta is consistently changing every single week. It'll probably change this week as well with the campfires, depending on how OP they are, depending on what they are, if they're an inventory item or if they're a trap item. We're not too sure exactly what they're going to be yet, but I think it's going to be interesting to see exactly when that is. Depending on whenever you're watching this video, there could be more items added into the game, and backpacks could be even more necessary in the future. So awesome gameplay today. If you haven't already, check out my series on how to win every single time. It really does help people out and can help a lot of people get them easy wins in Fortnite Battle Royale. Very simple to do, easy tutorials, easy tips and tricks. I've helped so many people get their first wins. If you haven't already, definitely worth checking out. I'm going to be bringing out them videos every single Saturday now, so you're going to get a brand new video on how to win every single time added into that series every single week. So it's absolutely awesome. Amazing tips and tricks on there. I even watch them myself sometimes if I've not been playing too well. So awesome videos to check out. Go and check that out for yourselves. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Tell me down below, like I said, what you think of backpacks. And once again, this is postboxpat signing out.